1 second, let's share this. Copy link. Okay, I'm gonna get off here. Richie, this is for you, mate. It's my new intro song. Russian war song about a soldier getting sacked off by his girlfriend while he's at war. By Telegram. Sucks. Right, we'll fade out. Belgic, actually. The Serbian ones are just too fucking... The Serbian ones are just too crazy. Serbian war songs are too crazy. Who have we got in here? We've got Richie. We've got Melissa. We've got M. Falks. We've got Balthus Day Game. Oh, we've got some characters in here tonight. So, boys, yeah, back in the UK. And we're going to get straight into some good topics tonight because it's been a lot of inspiration this last few weeks. I've not done a live for a little while, man. So let's get back into it. And the topics tonight are hypergamy, which Balthus Day Game knows all about. Female safety, which was a big thing. It was a big thing last week in Barca, a huge thing, I think, last week, which is really going to help guys in our group in the entourage. But anyone who watches this as well, I'm just going to flesh it out a little bit as well here. And then the last one is love, and also selecting, love and selection for men. So, yeah, I've had a lot of stuff has just been percolating this last few weeks. So I just wanted to, these kind of lives are like a way for me just to formalize some of the thoughts a little bit, which I will then probably put in later videos in a more polished way. So this is a kind of the raw notes here. So boys, how is everyone? Balthus Day Game. How's the apartment treating you in Barca? I think you're still in that little that little interesting area that we were in. I think it sounds like you had a bit of a better time of it than me. Well, you're still there, so it can't be a bad thing. What colour is your bat? Yeah, it's a bit of a funny go. Is it quite loud where you are? My issue is the frickin' Mexicans below, man. There's a Mexican. It wasn't the mosque next door, it was the Mexicans. You've got to be noisy when you can outperform a mosque. Yeah. So, yeah, filth. Yeah, it's a bit filthy and it's a bit grotty, that area. I'm looking into what else could be available, around Barca. Something we have to look into, I think. Richie, how are you, mate? Still on the grind. Still on your 7th job. It's almost like you could do with an assistant, Richie. It's almost like if you hired someone, who is smart, young, driven, trustworthy. I don't know where you could find such a person, but it might make your life easier, No, you're still working, yeah. Good multitask. Okay. Namibian princess. Yeah, this is it. This is actually a serious thing. When I go to cities, my first week, yeah, I'll try and meet a few women. I'm much more interested in getting the lay of the ground. Like, I was actually doing quite a lot of background work while I was in, well, everywhere I go, actually, every single place I go, trying to find out if I want to stay here, what's it going to cost, what's a good area, trying to get some local connections. I actually managed to do that. Hemorrhoids, bro. This is a cold approach relationships channel, okay? Yeah. So just don't ask me stupid questions about. You're going out straight away, bro. You're gone. Red card. So yeah, networking, exactly. Networking events. You guys obviously went, did your dating stuff, like your was it blind dates or something, whatever it was. Not blind dates, was it fucking speed dating? Yeah. I get this person out. Let's see if we can get them out as well. So yeah, you guys were doing that. That's what it's about when you go to a new place. And even when I come back into Sheffield, that's what I'm doing. My first few weeks back, go to my cafes, see my people, go to my nights, get connected up with people again, get the social life going. Are there any opportunities for me here for maybe something professional? Maybe, who knows, all sorts of opportunities everywhere you go. So fucking world of opportunities out there. Just got to get yourself out. Yeah, speed dating. The boys did speed dating in Barca. Yeah. Yeah, they did it in Barca. I didn't go because I was working, but they did it in Barca, yeah. Yeah, I was having to balance work, not sleeping at all, at all in that first apartment, and then going out in the day and doing a bit of daytime as well. So that was an interesting week for me. I only just started to settle by the end. By the last few days, I moved into a hotel, got to actually get a bit of sleep. I probably didn't catch up on sleep until probably a week after leaving Barca, just like probably that last week. Yeah, I think they had fun. They had a lot of fun in the speed dating. You have to ask them about it. So I want to talk actually about hypergamy because Balthus Day Game is just out in Barcelona. Absolutely tons of girls out in Barcelona. He's meeting girls every single day. He's getting numbers every single day. Yeah, back in. Sorry, boys. Yeah, back in. Sorry, boys. Sorry, boys. The Chinese are attacking me. Let me see if I can get my backup. It's not like I work online all day long. It's not like this is my office space here. It's just pretty makeshift at the moment because I'm just in a spare room here. But let me see if I can get my backup Wi-Fi just in case. It should be okay. Should be okay. Yes. The Chinese, they attack me. CCP attack me. Putler attack me. Exactly. So yeah, so just to go back to Balthus's experience, he's been having a great time in Barcelona. Yeah, I don't want to get sidetracked onto the approach stuff, but one of the things he's come across is a woman. He's probably had this with other women he doesn't even know yet, giving him his number and pursuing him and taking interest in him when they've actually got someone else. They've actually got a boyfriend. And there's a recent story he shared, which is a fantastic story, where he asked the girl, so why don't you have a boyfriend? She said to him, I've got a boyfriend. I thought it was a great story because it does illustrate that there are many women out there who are in relationships who actually are not really satisfied, and they're kind of in a relationship in the same way that you park your car. You park your car outside Marks and Spencer's. It's just there for a bit. You know, you're not going to spend the rest of your life in Marks and Spencer's. That is brutally how they see the relationship. Yeah, it's there are all sorts of people out there in the world. There's women who absolutely won't do that. There's women who would rather be in something real or just be completely single. There's many women like that. But there's also women who are happy to essentially use a guy for attention whatever else. It's probably mostly attention and security. Mostly security, actually. Emotional security. Financial, but often mostly emotional. Often the financial is not even as big as you think. Yeah. And they're still effectively available. Exactly. Many guys still have guilty temporary girlfriend as well. Yeah. Guilty as charged. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I would say I had that last year, where a girl I was with, and I knew this probably is not going to go on forever. I didn't actually label her as my girlfriend, in fairness. Yeah, it's fucked up, but I was staying with her and not screwing other women because I felt it was important to have a level of sexual discipline. That's a bit weird. It's like you're using someone to you got to have sex with someone. So I just said I'm gonna have sex with you. I didn't actually have her as a girlfriend. Yeah, it's worse deal for the women who are doing it for themselves. We've got more time. Yeah, exactly. So a lot of the things that we see and like a lot of the things that we encounter out there in the field, you have to ask yourself, have I done worse than that? In almost every case, I would say yes. I've probably done worse than most of this. Or not most of it. There's a lot of stuff I've done, and I think yeah, I've done worse than her. So I think there is a difference though, in the sense that my default as a man is just to spread my sperm. That's my kind of default position. I don't think it's women's default. Obviously, they like sex and they like non-committed sex and so on, but it's not like they're trying to rack. It's quite pathological for like. There's no women going out there doing cold approach, right? Developing their cold approach skills. It's just not actually a thing, right? There's no market for it. The market for women is trying to get them into relationships, right? That is a market for them. That's where they show their prowess. Is can you keep a decent guy around? That is how woman shows her womanly prowess. If you're a guy and you've got a lot of options, you're a decent guy. It's not that hard to get a relationship. It's not that hard. It's probably more demanding, I would say, of your time to continue to go out and to have many different girls. So it's not that we have totally incompatible imperatives. They are compatible, but it is a little bit different. Yeah, Richie went from being an incel to being super picky. Yeah, I'm gonna come on to that, the picky stuff. But I dropped a message into the entourage basically to say this relates to hypergamy. This relates to hypergamy. So hypergamy is a real thing, but you've also got to take it all in a sensible way. Adam, get off my channel, you fucking rat. Get the fuck out of my channel, you prick. You think I'm just gonna let you come on my channel and just insult me? Get the fuck off, bro. Idiot. So yeah, leverage hypergamy, basically. Leverage hypergamy. That's what you want to do. And how do you do that? Well, you make the best of yourself. Obviously, look decent, have some decent stuff going on, know how to communicate with women, and be good at cold approach. Have a bit of an exciting life. Be able to take the girl out to have an interesting ice cream. Be able to tell the girl about your travel trip. Be able to take the girl on the dance floor. Give her some decent sex. There you go. That's basically covered pretty much everything. And then there's a few things about safety that we'll come on to later on. You're so high on this thing. If you can also incorporate a bit of security for it as well, you're so high up that you have ticked all the hypergamy boxes. The guys that need to worry about quote unquote hypergamy is like the maybe the fat guy he's landed his girlfriend because she works with him and she's the secretary or something, and they had a little bit of a thing. She got pissed one night. Yeah, he's the guy who's got to worry. Actually, solid guys, you don't have to worry. It's not like, for example, let's say you're up here, right? Let's say she meets fucking Drake. Yeah, she meets fucking Drake, or she meets like George Clooney. Well, yeah, he's higher on the totem pole. Yeah, But what security is he going to offer her? Absolutely fucking nothing. Because she's unless she's a complete dumbass, which obviously a lot of American groupies are, but unless she's a complete dumbass, she's not going to be delusional enough to think this guy who's got access to literally millions of women, not just a few dozen, like a really good guy has, a guy who's got access to millions. Yeah, she's not dumb enough to think he's gonna like be faithful to her, right? Women are actually pretty smart in this respect. So if you're a solid guy, plus you're offering some kind of comfort, as in you're offering her some kind of a future relationship, okay, you're sorted. You don't have to worry about hypergamy. And yeah, so it's really for guys who are lacking that this is going to be an issue. Um, a woman really in her psychology is really, and this is going underground now, a woman really in her psychology, truthfully, is a born slave. Truthfully, that's actually what they want. They want to be a slave for like the pharaoh or the king. Psychologically and sexually, this is actually what they crave. And the more you do that, you sub them, you slave them. It's fucked up. Man. It's fucked up. But this is a lot of them. I can't speak for every woman, but a lot of women, this is in them. This is in them. So, yeah, it's like, you know, get her doing stuff for you, man. Get her doing stuff for you. Get her to make you dinner. Get her, I don't know, to organize something. So I want to go to a restaurant. You book us these things on Friday, whatever. You know, get her working for you. Yeah. If she's not that way inclined, if she's a bit delusional and jumped up, then girls like that, whatever. But yeah, Ian, how are you, bro? How are you? I didn't expect to see you on the live. You were with Miguel. It's good to see you, mate. So yeah, basically, we don't really have to worry too much about hypergamy. We really don't. We really don't. I'd say honestly, if you're a younger guy in your early 20s, it's an issue you might run into because you may well be competing against a guy who's 28, 32. How the fuck can you compete at 21? It's pretty difficult. It's pretty difficult. Yeah. I mean, it's good in the early dates for you to take charge and stuff like that, but I'm more talking once you get down the line of the relationships. You want to actually have her under you as your fucking secretary. And I mean, the proof's in the pudding. This girl, she was a practice for you, mate. Let's be real. That girl, the proof's in the pudding. She's a 40-year-old single feminist. You know, it is what it is. Yeah. I know this from very high achieving women as well. Like what they need, like very headstrong, high achieving women who are actually legitimate operators who would essentially make mincemeat out of most guys. The guys would just not be strong enough for them. What they literally need is a complete gangster, almost literally, possibly borderline criminal, or just someone who's very, very strong to the point they would almost be willing to become a criminal, to just be like, you're my bitch, basically. Do this, do that. And they fight back a little bit, but they want the guy to kind of overpower them, but in a way that's also loving as well. It's kind of like the loving tyrant. And there's a lot of women who are like that, man. A lot of women who are like that. Yeah, Iceberg Slim. Exactly. I say a lot of women because I think there's a lot of women who don't know themselves. I actually believe all women are like this, but I think there's a certain portion who are so detached for themselves. They're like the equivalent of a male feminist. Yeah, the male feminist does not know who he is. So, yeah, I think all women are basically like this in their soul. I think this is what they're like. Oscar Wilde said it 150 years ago. Anyway, it's not a bad thing either. It's like it makes sense to me that by their nature they would want to be with the best possible guy they could be with, and they would want to be his sidekick and invest in him and have his children. And yeah, they're going to make demands of him. They're going to be sometimes difficult for him to handle, maybe, but he's going to handle them, and they're going to be content in that relationship. Yeah. Well, it shouldn't be too difficult, to be honest with you. So yeah, in terms of the whole, how the female brain actually operates in terms of relationships. I put it down to, if I'm going to put it on an autistic axis, we're going to put it on a graph. We've got excitement over here. It's like a seesaw. We've got excitement and stimulation over here, right? And then we've got security and comfort over here. And it's like a seesaw, right? If excitement goes up, yeah, a lot of the time security and comfort are going to go down. If security and comfort go up, it's excitement can go down. It's that kind of seesaw, right? And if you're able to provide both, she's yours, bro. She's yours. The girl is yours. If you're the exciting, dangerous guy who's also, there's a bit of comfort there, there is something there, like you actually do care about the girl. The girl's yours, man. She's yours. She wants to belong to you. So you don't have to worry about hypergamy. So the girl that Balthus has run into here, my guess, from the fact she said she already told her partner she wanted to fuck other guys, her excitement level is like a straight fucking zero. It's at zero. Maybe the security is at like 50, and that's why she's still with the guy. But basically, she's too lazy or too weak, or she likes some of the freebies she's getting, or she likes the apartment she's living in. But yeah, he's not really like, he's just providing security and comfort, and he's not providing any excitement. And so Mr. Bond comes along here, the Belgian Bond comes in, and the excitement goes right up, and he doesn't even need to provide security. He doesn't even need to, yeah. So yeah, that's actually an interesting axis: security versus excitement. That's my elbow here. It's my fucking MMA elbow. But yeah, that's a good one to think about in your mind, like where you are in your relationship. Let's say things are very secure and very comfy with your girl. Maybe it's time maybe you've had a few weeks of that, maybe a month or two of that. Maybe it's time to go and do something a bit crazy, you know, disappear for a couple of days, or drag her out somewhere crazy, you know, or drag her out with somewhere crazy and then maybe flirt with a waitress or something. I don't know. Maybe that's a bit too far, but something exciting, you know, something exciting, stimulating. Yeah, depends on what kind of life you're leading. And then beyond that, just being calm in your own skin, how you can deal with that woman. Let's say the guy was, I've got imagining here like a fat African guy with his like hotter wife. He's like 50, he's paying her bills. Or he's not, or he's just some young bitch, whatever it is, I don't know. She comes to him and says, yeah, I want to have sex with other guys. There is actually a way to handle that. There is actually a way to handle that so that she doesn't do it. And the way to handle that is like, wicked. Can't wait. Can I video it? Yeah. I want to get some I need to get some tips. Yeah, because I feel like, you know, whenever I fuck you, you just half falling asleep. You're like a half dead corpse. You know, could you at least fake it for me? Yeah. That's actually the most Don way of handling that situation. It's like, I've had this with a girl once where I was so knackered I couldn't even give her good sex. And I was just like, I didn't really care, but I just played into the fact that I didn't care. I was like, yeah, whatever. I don't really care. That made her like me more, I swear to God, than some girls where I've actually given them good sex. It's fucking hilarious. The fact I was so arrogant about the shit sex that I'd given her, and I truly didn't care. That put me up in her eyes of valuation more than some girls I've been with. And I'm like, man, I fucking battered that girl. And they tell me that afterwards, but it sometimes doesn't always translate into like that emotional feeling, because they almost can just see you as like a fuckboy at that point. You had a girlfriend who would suggest these experiments, but yeah, she could be testing you. It is a test in a way. That's what I'm saying. That's what my answer is basically like, yeah, go fuck him. Wicked. Or even just be like, I'm just thinking what way you could play that. Or you could just say, yeah, obviously you can. But then obviously you'll never speak to me again, which is also fine as well. It means I can go get a new girlfriend. And it's like, what the fuck? Yeah. But you can frustrate them. Yeah, sometimes they want a bit of jealousy to know that you care. Depends what type of guy you are. Sometimes a girl just wants to get a bit of jealousy to know that you actually give a shit. Yeah. Um, the attention stuff, I don't really believe in attention, to be honest. I think it's a very childish thing. Um, all this, I don't know why this is being purported so much through the internet, like women want attention, attention. Yeah, childish retards do, which is a lot of women. But like an actual mature woman doesn't really require that much attention. They require some, like, but I don't call that attention really. Um, I've actually been with girls who are like, no, I don't need attention. I'm not a fucking child. So I think there's a lot of retardation in the space. Um, yeah, it's the psychology that matters. Yeah, exactly. But anyway, that um, I I think if you're at a space where your girl is saying this to you, she wants to go and fuck other guys. I think you've probably fucked up so long ago that it's just way too late. It's just way too late. But those are some ways in which you could actually deal with it. You can deal with it in that way. Um, you can also do preemptive strikes as well. I do a lot of dark stuff in uh, on this front, just to because if a girl's if I'm if in any way I'm well, there's always a 5% chance. There's always a 5% chance. You can always get sideswiped with any girl. Well, let's just put that 5%, and I'd say that just applies to every single chick. Just the 5%, and maybe it's a 1%, maybe it's a 0.005%. There's some small percentage. Let's just put that to the side. The rest of it, though, I want to be 95, 99% sure of all the stuff I've got to deal with. I don't have to deal with some bullshit, some other guy shagging my girlfriend. What the fuck is that about? It's just fucking stupid. So there's things you can actually do. You can actually just denigrate other guys. Talk negatively about other guys in front of her, but in a way that is not. It is kind of in a way a bit strategic, but it's not insecure. It's like, for example, uh, this actually does work. This actually does work. Let's say that your girlfriend was moving to the Dominican Republic, right? And you know from me, she's gonna get hit on every single day of her life. What you do is you just say this. Yeah, man, those Dominican men, they're just pure fucking animals, aren't they? They just fuck anything that moves. All they want to do is just get into a tourist girl's pants, inseminate her, and like get money off her basically. They're fucking sweaty, fucking low lives, man. They earn like $200 a month. And I would denigrate them. I'd actually denigrate them even worse than that, to be honest. Um, or, oh, my girlfriend's moving to Spain. Oh, they're such smelly bastards, aren't they? They're Spanish. Yeah, they're going to be trying to they're going to be trying to fuck you every 2 minutes. They're going to be trying to, sleaze. Oh, those disgusting, smelly, hairy Spanish. Yeah. I did that to my ex before she moved to Spain, but not like, I didn't really, it was like an insurance, but I didn't really need to, but I was like, I'm going to throw it in there because I know they will be cracking onto her. And, yeah, it's racist. Yeah, well, whatever. I'm a racist. I'm a racist who goes out with black girls. Yeah, um, but yeah, you can really denigrate like other guys. I'm not above doing this. Like, I'll do it, no problem. Um, and what that does, it does incept that into her mind. It puts it into her mind of like, "Hey, Joseph, he's right, isn't he? They're all fucking smelly bastards, and they're just trying to. They all just. I go to a club. They're all pussies. They never say anything to me in the day. Then they go into a club. They won't leave me alone. Fucking hell. Um, so yeah, you can do things like that. That's a little trick you can do. Um, and if your girl like if she kind of hangs on your every word or to some extent, which she should do if she's yours, that stuff's gonna be in the back of her mind. It's like, oh, this bastard. He's always right about things, isn't he? So that's something you can do. That's something you can do. Um, yeah, it's a bit of a dark triad tactic that, but I'm not above it. I'm not above these things. Um, you can also raise it with the girl as well. You can stress test her and be like, oh yeah, how many guys hit on you today? The taxi driver hit on you. But you do it in a way where you show you're not bothered. It's just kind of like, whatever, whatever. And also, you shouldn't really be bothered. What are you going to do if she wants to cop off with someone else? You're not going to do anything. You're just going to leave her, and that's it. Or you're going to demote her. But I personally would leave her. Um, Yeah, that's just my own personal view. Some guys will be like, no, okay, I'll just demote her down to like 10th place now. She's gonna go down to the bottom of the harem. For me personally, I wouldn't do that. And I've had, for example, a girl who I was seeing her for a while, and then her ex-boyfriend came on the scene again. He'd been away. He was an Irish guy, been back in Ireland, and I knew he was sniffing around her because I'd seen him. I'd seen him. I'd even seen him copying some of the things that I would do when I was out. I'd go. Sometimes I would like be quite physical with girls. I'd just pick them up or something. I'd do a lot of physical things in clubs, and I watched him copy me do the same thing. It was a bit weird. This guy. Um, he was just fucking. He was a psychologist as well. But anyway, and I could see he was wanting to get his girlfriend back, so he was slowly weaseling around her. Fair enough. I mean, it's his ex-girlfriend, and I was just starting to see her for a couple of months. Um, I think as soon as yeah, pretty much as soon as that started to go on, and I started to withdraw, and then I saw this girl. I was like, I just saw her one night, kind of flirting with another guy, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I'm chill, but I'm definitely done. This girl's she's never going to get to spend any time with me in a personal capacity again. Um, yeah, so it's kind of interesting. Like that's just my it's slings and arrows, man. I was yeah, this if you date around, these types of scenarios are going to happen. These experiences you're going to have them. But I just withdrew. No, I'm not interested in that bullshit. Bye. Um, so yeah, um, yeah. I personally would rather withdraw than get into any kind of bullshit. Anything else here? Yeah, I think sexual satisfaction with a girl is important, and most of that does come down to psychology and dominance, essentially, dominance and submission. Um, you don't even need to fuck the girl, to be honest. You actually don't. I'm not going to go in. This is not a fucking sex class online, but, you know, message me privately, book a call with Wingbro, link below, if you want to know how you can actually get a girl to be sexually exclusive with you without even fucking her. You actually can do that. And get her really thinking about it. Obviously you want to as well, but you can actually do that. Um, so yeah, a lot of that psychological satisfaction, and then the last thing as well. Again, it's that balance of excitement versus comfort. She wants that excitement. She wants that like high sexuality, but she also wants to feel that there's a future as well. She also wants to feel there's a future as well. There's some girls that you what's up, Fresh? I don't know who you are, mate. Um, but maybe you've been on another live. Um, the yeah, that axis of sexuality, excitement versus comfort and future. There's sometimes I remember one girl. I was waiting. I was lingering around this girl for like going every month or two. I'd like call her, and I thought nothing. Yeah, just connected again. And eventually one day this girl messages me on the day. She goes, I'm coming to the capital tomorrow. I was like, right, okay, let me know when you finish your course. I'll send you an Uber. We can get a coffee or something. She basically just came straight to mine. I didn't even get with her the first time fully. I was just like feeling her out a little bit. And I danced with her. And then she messaged me when she got back home. She's like, yeah, my pussy was wet when you were dancing with me. I was like, this is why I'm a slow. I was learning some of these things in my mid-30s, so it's why I'm a slow learner. Like, okay, note to self. This is like the 15th girl who said this to you. Maybe you should start to take that as a given, right? When you're grinding a girl in your room, yeah. But anyway, so she comes back over the next week, and she actually pissed me off. She pissed me off in the lift. She said a few things that were semi-insulting to me, and I don't think it was a shit test as so much as she was just not very socially clued up. And I'm just there like, I didn't say anything, but I'm like, okay. Wait till I get hold of you. Wait till I get hold. You've pissed me off now. Yeah, you've actually pissed me off. I'm gonna fucking wreck you. And yeah, she messaged me afterwards and she was like, I didn't expect that from you. I wasn't expecting this when I came to your room. A fucking scene from The Exorcist. Um, so yeah, and then she started coming over every Saturday, and I fucking had a girlfriend as well. It was just hard to fit her in. But she started coming over every Saturday for about 3, 4 weeks, and she was like, "Yeah." She messaged me like in between. She's like, "Yeah, you're the guy that gives me good sex," and I was like, "Great, I'm in pole position here. Yeah, I'm in pole position, right? This is great." Um, and then she stopped coming in because she didn't have any. Her course was over, and then she kind of disappeared off. And then after I was in her city for a bit, and we had a few messages, but she never came to see me. It really confused me because I was like, the sex was pretty like demented that I had with that girl. Um, but I was like, why didn't she stick around? That's actually weird. And I thought about it, and I was like, she wants a boyfriend. She wants a future. She wants a serious guy. She doesn't know what I've got going on, but she suspects I've got something, possibly a girlfriend. She doesn't really know. Um, so they want, and this is, I've had this with other girls as well. That was just one example where, like the first night with a girl, you're like, you give your Olympian sexual performance you've been training for like since you were 15. Yeah, you finally can do it, and then you're thinking, yeah, she's gonna be calling me up tomorrow, Daddy. I want to fuck you again. I want you to, I want you to do all this stuff to me again, and it doesn't work, like, or even I remember there was one girl, the Italian girl. I saw her the next. I was with her on the Wednesday. I saw her on the Sunday, and she's with a guy in this bar that we both go to. I'm like, oh, she must have a date. I was like, I'm genuinely surprised, man. I'm actually genuinely surprised. Um, and then she messaged me that night. She was like, yeah, I just want you to know, this guy's going to be my boyfriend. I'm like, what the actual fuck is going on here, right? And then, as I say, other girls where there's like the sex is like nothing. There's nothing. It's barely even happening, or it's just average, or and it depends. If they don't see a future with you, they will actually use you for sex, and then they'll leave, which is it's a fucking amazing thing when it happens. It's an amazing realization. I said this to a friend, and he was like, yeah, it's fucking crazy. Some of these girls, they start to use me for sex, and he's like, yeah, it's mad when that happens, isn't it? Because this guy was a guy who had way more experience than me. He was like the ultimate player basically, and I spoke to him about things periodically. And he's like, yeah, it's mad when it happens. You're not expecting to be used for sex. You don't think women do that, and then you're the one who's been used, and it's kind of like, yeah, nice, you know. I'll take that, Um, I'm sure the Belgian Bond is going to be he's going to be considered like the go-to guy in the Catalan ghetto. So that's something that can happen as well. But if they don't see a future with you, they'll usually fuck off. They'll usually fuck off unless they've got nothing else going on. But a lot of girls, especially if they're in their prime, they're young, they'll usually fuck off and get a boyfriend. So um, yeah, and so anyway, so if I think I said at the start of the live, if you're a solid guy, you really and you're ticking a lot of her psychological boxes. You're providing safety and so on. Um, then you don't need to worry too much about hypergamy. You are like you're what the hypergamy is aiming for. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that. Yeah, we don't need to worry about it. Um, and even if you do get a bit worried because fucking George Clooney or Drake comes along or the equivalent, right? You can diffuse that using some of the dirty, filthy tactics that I've just used, that I've just outlined. Like, oh, you can even, right? You can even do this, right? Let's say I was up against Belgian Bond, right? I thought my girlfriend fancied a Belgian Bond or Richie, right? There's things I could say about those guys, even though they're my mates, that I wouldn't even think were true. Yeah, but I'd just make up some bullshit. I'm like, yeah, Belgian guys, they're just fucking waffle eating faggots, aren't they? Basically, I just say something like that, and then next time she sees or Richie, are these fucking Dutch guys, man. They're absolute fucking these fucking Dutch guys, man. They're just all weed smoking Bob Marley fucking junkies, basically. Do you know what I mean? So, so this is the point. This is the point. Or let's say it was the most best looking. It's the best looking guy ever. It's Adonis, literal Adonis. I just be like, yeah, look at that Adonis, rent boy, fucking rent boy faggot. I bet he paints that six pack on. What an absolute gimp. You know, that's literally what I would do, and it would work. It definitely would work. So even if you want to add that extra layer on, you can do that, and you obviously do it with a smile on your face. Yes, that's a dirty little trick from under my fucking from my toolkit here. So Fresher, sorry, just to get back to you there. You're in your mid-30s, you're finding it difficult to find places to meet women day game wise. Where do you live? Where do you live, Fresh? It's not difficult actually, mate. To be honest, you just go out into the street in the city centre. The question is, where do you live? I'm doing a video. I've already done a video on this today, which is going to be released tomorrow. But I'm interested to know. So yeah. Anyway, Entourage boys. I'm just using you boys as an example, right? But you know that's the point, because obviously you can do these things if you want to. Richie, I know you love these dirty tactics. I know you're going to use them. Oh, you know what I would do? I would do this. I actually did this on an approach with a Swedish girl. I approached a Swedish girl and I actually mentioned not you by name, but I actually did this with you, with referencing you. I said, oh yeah, she was from Sweden. She was fucking fit. She was half, dude, this girl was mad. She was like a partly East African, partly Palestinian Jew, if that even makes sense, or something like that. Part Jewish, part Palestinian. I don't even know. And also a bit Swedish. She was like the ultimate mulatto. But I was like, man, this is a bit too dangerous. This Middle Eastern mixture in here, man, this is a bit too explosive. What am I getting myself into here? I'm gonna get fucking taken out by this chick's family or something. But anyway, so I met her. I met her outside a hotel around our area. Just went over, and I actually went indirect initially. I asked her for directions, and it was obviously bullshit. And then I just started talking to her, and had like really good conversation with her for like 20 minutes. There's all these guys. They were obviously probably in a hotel or something, being gimps in the background, but whatever. They were English, and got her number. That was, I think, it might have been the first number I even got in Barca. I think even before I went to meet Balthus, I think on the first day, and she actually said to me, I said, oh yeah, you know, Swedish people, yeah, good looking, whatever. And she goes, oh yeah, yeah, the men are good looking too. She's like, yeah, they're tall, blonde. Yeah, so she's going down the Aryan bullshit here. And and I'm just like, well, I'm gonna use one of my little, I'm essentially gonna kneecap these guys, even though they're not even here, but I'm just like, yeah. Yeah, it's funny because one of my friends, yeah, he said the same. He's like, oh, they're all these big, you know, like, these big Vikings or whatever, good looking, super good looking guys. But he was just like, yeah, they're all passive, kind of passive, and just, I didn't go over the top. I didn't say they're passive bitches, but I was like, yeah, they're kind of passive. They don't really do anything. They're kind of just like, just weird, And she goes, she paused and she was like, yeah, you're completely right. She was like, yeah, she literally said this, they would never come up to me like you have just done. They don't have the balls. She literally said this to me. So no, I've turned them around. I've turned it around from they're these good-looking giga chads to, hold on, they don't have any balls. You've got balls, Joseph, because you just came over to me. So it was like completely flipped it on them. So you can always use these dirty tactics. Yeah. We can use these tactics on the Vikings. That's what I would be doing non-stop in Viking land, yeah? I'll just be denigrating these people subtly, demonically. So yeah, hopefully there's some nice little tips in there. Yeah, I've put here cynical and stress test them. So there's always a little bit of cynicism in the sense that, like, always, even though like there's, you actually do have faithful women who are only interested in you. A lot of women, once they're with you, they just don't see other men as an option. Yeah, you like Swedes because they don't cop block. Yeah, fair enough. all I was saying was just it was just in that one conversation, you know. Yeah, they're not a threat. That's nuts, isn't it? They're not a threat. These good-looking, wealthy dudes are not a threat. That's hilarious. That's actually hilarious. It's true though. But yeah, cynical. I say cynical here. Just I put this in my notes in the sense that it's like always being aware that a girl's eye could wander, and that's fine. But like that's like 5% of my awareness, and I'm kind of a bit cynical on it. So I'll tease them sometimes, like, "Oh yeah, your boyfriend's coming around the corner, whatever." This is very infrequent, by the way. So it's not on a regular basis, but just sometimes, and it kind of like it's weird because then they're trying to prove like, oh, they're like, oh, what are you talking about? I would never. That's not my type of thing. I'm not that type of girl, whatever. Um, so like that cynicism is real in the sense that I'm not delusional. There's always a little chance, but basically, if you're able to just shine a light on it and laugh about it, it's not going to happen. Yeah. If a girl knows, you'll almost rejoice if she cheats on you. Like you're like, oh yeah, you can. Oh mate, he can take you out. That'll save me like 50 quid this weekend. That's sick. I can go shooting instead. Yeah, you know, like she will never do it. She'll never do it. She will just never do it. If they know that you'll actually enjoy it, you'll actually find it funny, they'll never do it. It's fucked up. Um, yeah. Stress test them as well. Yeah, I mean, this is just in general. It's not just women that need to be that shit test. I personally think men, we should shit test women. Like, why should I bring you into my life? Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do this? What are you like in this situation? Are you any good? Can you speak to my, if I bring you around people, can you speak to them? Oh no, you can't. Well, I'm gonna keep you a little bit more of a distance then. Yeah. Problem with men is because we can be in, and I've definitely been there, we can be in such a state of sexual depletion at times, and the sex drive is so strong. When you get a girl who's actually fit as well, who's fulfilling that, you can start to overlook things. You can start to overlook things. Jazz has obviously had this. Um, you know, we've all had it at times, man. We've all had it at times. But as a general thing, um, yeah, you want to be stress testing the girl. So for me, me and Ephraim joked about it. Like, if I'm actually gonna take a girl seriously, I do want to know what a relationship to her dad is, big time. Was he strict? Was he around? Does she have a dad? What are her parents like? I need to know this stuff. Does she have the values that I want? Yeah, my values are they are what they are. It's probably pretty obvious if you watch the channel. I'm not even saying they're universally for they're my values. So I need a girl who's gonna go along with that. And if it's not the case, she can bounce. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. But you need volume to be making those decisions. You need volume to make these decisions. You're a dry spell. You're fucking counting. Yeah. You need to. What's a good reframe for that dry spell? Reframe that. This is your exercise right now, Richie. I'm giving you an exercise right now. Yeah. While you're doing your homework. You can do a second load of homework on top of the homework you're doing as well. What's the reframe of that? I would not say you're on a dry spell, mate. Exactly. Exactly. You're working fucking 16 hours a day to just get fucking paid. Um, yeah. Exactly. It's all about how you frame it. It's all about how you frame it. Like last year, did I have one-itis? It's like, no. Exactly. You turn down an American girl. You're not even going out. And by what I heard in the group, when you are going out, you're still doing well. Yeah, exactly. Shoes on a plate. Yeah. I mean, you're doing the right thing, in my opinion. A lot of the reason I was going out in the Balkans, I actually this year, honest, I had such a, I filled my boots last year. I'd filled my boots in like 2 or 3 months, and I'm like, I don't need any more. Like I've had my experiences now for 2 or 3 months. What I don't want to do is derail my whole life by trying to fuck everything that moves. Um, I've got a lot of work on, like I need to maintain constant attention on my business all the time. I've got like 30 odd people under me in my business well, my small business, but it's still a lot of people I've got to sort out. So I don't need to be trying to chase everything that moves. Let me find someone and let me stick with them. I could say, oh, if I've got one itis, I've got one itis, I'm with a girl. It's like, no, not really. You're literally going out all the time. You're getting new numbers every fucking weekend. And you're continuing to develop and moving over from nighttime, which is by far, still to this day, by far, I'm more comfortable at night. By far, not even close. But moving over from that to the daytime, and then and working, it's like how I frame that is I just frame that as, and this is actually the truth as well. These girls do not get to, they don't get to fucking touch me. They don't get to come into my life. I'll take them for a coffee. If I really like them and I'm with the girl I'm with, I'll take them for a coffee. And then if I really like them, then I might do a bit of an assessment. But basically, I'm just with this one girl. But I'm still doing all the cold approach. I even had instant dates. But I just kept a limit on myself. Iceberg slimmed it. You're not getting into my pants, love. Good luck, yeah? You're gonna have to wait your turn. It might be you might have to wait a couple of years till you see me again. Yeah, too fussy, exactly. So this is it. So you're already at a point, and this is what day game does, is when you actually get good and you've actually got girls, you've laid them from the street, from literally the fucking street, and you've got them back and you've been with them, that realization you can do that completely changes you forever to the point, and then you go to a place where all the girls you're actually to your liking, you're just fussy. I'm the same, exactly the same as you, exactly the same as you. You're back in the UK, you've got an American girl here, whatever, and you're just like, why would I even bother? I may as well just make money. That's literally what I've been doing the last 2 weeks. I've barely left this room. I've left this room to go for a walk in the park every day. And that's literally it. I went into the town centre at the weekend just to have a run out, to get out. I'd just rather work, And it's like, yeah, I just look at I just look at what's out there in my vicinity, basically in the whole of the UK. Unless she's from a foreign country, I'm literally almost certainly not going to be interested. Because for me now, it's like, it's not even just the looks. The looks are not going to be good enough. It's not even that. The personality is not going to be to my tastes. Neither is the mentality and the value system. So it's got to all be a total package for me to even consider. And it's the way it should be. It's the way it should be at 39. It's taking me a long fucking time to get here. Same with you, Richie. It's like, so it's a long fucking slog for us to get here. So by the time we get here, it's like, yeah, let's get the cold approach. Oh, great, I can do that. Now I can be real fucking fussy with who I bring in, who I let get onto this ship, who I let get onto my private fucking helicopter of a life, that can fly anywhere. It's not going to be anyone who's going to get in there. So being fussy, and there's stress testing the girls as well. That's definitely what I do. So the girl actually I was with last year, and I'm still speaking to her now. I've stress tested her a lot. And I'd say she's the the only stress test that she failed was how she responded after I broke up with her. But am I becoming a complete psychopath now? But I'm like, yeah, she could have responded better to that. But everything else she responded well to. So like, I stress test the women as well. They stress test you, but I stress test them. We need to be more like that as men. There's too much of this fucking white knight stuff. Yeah, you want to be a protector, but you also want to say, hey, should I keep you around? Yeah, are you actually going to pull your weight in this situation? And that brings me on to the next one quickly. We'll go through this quite quickly. Physical safety. I left an 8-minute message in the entourage based on the importance of physical safety. I'll essentially repeat that here now, just for posterity, in case anyone comes across this video, or if there's one other person looking who's not in the entourage. Physical safety is essentially the number one thing that women need from men. It actually trumps essentially everything else. Apart from their sperm, essentially physical safety is the number one thing. If we just reduce everything to our evolved biology, and we just reduce everything, even in society, what do women need to do for the furthering of the species? They need to have children. What do men need to do? They need to make sure that the women and children survive. That's it. Those two things need to be achieved. If you don't achieve both of those things, civilization, humanity collapses. It's a bit fucked. We're in a position now where that's kind of like people don't consider that anymore. Do you know what I mean? We're not doing that anymore because we're so distracted with other things. But basically, for the civilization to survive, women need to have children, men need to protect the women and the children. That's it. Those priorities are number one for both men and women. So we both, that's it basically. Now we've fucking got all this complex bullshit. Yeah, exactly. Starmer said you should smash dudes. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We've got the communist regime going on here, but yeah. But it's not just that. It's also even in the capitalist countries. It's there's so much distraction. I'm not going to go down this route, but like you look at the. I mean, I'm seeing my nephews a lot at the moment, which is amazing, especially the youngest one. He is just so good. It's so fulfilling, and they're my nephews, man. I can't imagine if they were my own boys. I would just be, I don't know, I would be the most proud dad ever. Like I would just be the uber dad, right? In terms of the emotions, but you also do look at it and go, fuck me, like it's getting harder for families, man. It's getting harder. It really is. So the incentives to having a family are not used to be like a given. There was a lot of incentives for it. Now it's kind of like it's probably disincentivized. You know, you're more incentivized to stay single. But anyway, yeah, I don't want to stray off the point, but it's like that's the baseline of what we need to do. So, for example, a woman who is completely infertile, who's like 70, right? A normal man should not be attracted to a 60-year-old woman sexually. Like a normal 40-year-old man or 30-year-old man should not be attracted to a 60-year-old woman. Or the other fucking direction, or like a fucking 10-year-old, right? Both of those things, obviously the first one, the latter is literally pedophilia, right? But both of those things are just completely abnormal. Why is that, right? Why should we be attracted to 20 to 40-year-old women? Overwhelmingly. Why should we be attracted to that age group? Fertility. If we were not attracted and we were attracted to 70-year-olds, we kept all shagging 70-year-olds, they were the hottest thing, but they couldn't have any children, well, we wouldn't have lasted very long as a species, would we? It's literally just adaptive. We're attracted to this group because they are adaptive for the species. We don't think of it like that, but that is why we're attracted to them. That is why. Yeah. It's that deep in us. It's that deep in us. Like you could say this 70-year-old's got this, that, and the other. I don't give a shit. Maybe I'll have a dirty session with her, which I'll feel weird about, but get some weird gratification from. But you're not actually gonna have. It's not the same type of attraction as you would get with like a fucking 23-year-old or fucking 26-year-old. It's not even comparable, right? It's more like a perversion, right? So, fucking gilf prosties, man. Yeah. So that's the male brain, right? It's the male brain. The female brain, if you cannot provide her with safety, you're literally like a 60-year-old woman to her. What a 60-year-old woman is to us, like she might have big plastic tits and stuff, but something ain't right there. This is what you are to her as a guy if you cannot provide her with safety, if you can't assure her safety. And we live in actually now very, very safe societies in the West and so on. But it only takes a woman walking down a dark street at night and two guys coming the other way for her to realize exactly where she stands in this whole fucking game of humanity. She knows exactly where she stands. Okay, how old she is, how much she's been raised to think she's the same as men, she'll know exactly where she stands. Yeah. It's yeah. And that's at that point there, it's very, very fucking clear to them. And like girls from poor countries or countries which are more dangerous, I actually find them easier to be around because humans should not be safe. We shouldn't be safe. We shouldn't be safe all the time. not all the time. We're not actually adapted for that. We should be facing threats sometimes. That keeps us understanding our own situation, our own mortality, right? That actually keeps us grounded in a way. Girls who are from countries where there's actual obvious threats, I find them easy to deal with. They get it. They're mature. They understand their situation. It's not to say they're worse than me or I'm better than them or anything like that. They just get it, right? And then my job is to make sure they're all right. Yeah. Sometimes a European girl that doesn't really clock with them, that's all right though. It's still your job to do. At some point though, at some point it might do. At some point it might. Sometime in the future it might do. Yeah. So I don't want woke. I want my Viking pride. I don't want woke. Fuck. Wokeism is just, a commie girl is not. I'm getting to a point with that where like I just won't even engage. Even girls who I'm like friends with and stuff, and I'm just like, can I actually overcome this the fact this person is woke? Like, it's kind of like, can I actually be bothered? Yeah, my girls are like either genuinely, the girls I like actually mostly are like natural. They're kind of natural. They're kind of in that primal space, which in a way would tend to being more conservative in a way. But like, they're not like prudes at all. They're freaks. Yeah, but they're just like, yeah, obviously I want a fucking grown, I want a man to like make sure I'm safe, obviously. Yeah. They want an actual normal man. They don't want a fucking babysitter. I think a lot of these woke girls. Do you notice a lot of these woke girls have got men? They're with men with like super long hair. You notice that, like skinny guys with long hair. I think there's a bit of lesbian in a lot of these girls, man. A bit of a lesbic tendency. They're like the man that they're with is almost like a psychological female. Yeah. So physical safety is a big one. So if you can't provide that, then you're going to run into issues. And what do you need to do to provide that? Thankfully, very little. Very little. You don't need to go and learn to become a fucking ninja. You don't need to be an MMA fighter. You don't need to have fucking 16. You need to have a fucking Glock and a fucking shotgun in your rucksack. You don't need to do very much. You just need to show an awareness that safety is important to her. Safety is important to her. So your awareness could be, as Balfour's did the other day, just said, hey, look, I want you to come back. I want you to come back with me. If you don't want to come back with me, that's fine. I'll make sure you get home safe. And it's just like, boom, there we go. He's just been the big daddy. He's just made sure she's safe. Yeah, this is a real fucking bond. What happens? She goes home with him. Yeah. Another guy in the group the other day, they were talking about there was an issue. She said to the guy, look, yeah, I'm just, why didn't you take me home? Like, well, basically, why didn't you walk me home? It's a bit of a red flag to me. And he didn't really know how to respond. He just didn't know what to say. Yeah. And it's fine because he's probably from like a very civilized country, civilized background. There's no real dangers around, apparently. But even a city like Barcelona, there's actually fucking dangers there, or in any city really. So that's part of growing up, is realizing, yeah, the world is actually, there's fucking dangers in the world. You just need to make sure your woman is good, and that might just mean walk her to her hotel room, walk her to the front door, yeah, and then you say to her, look, I want to, get a cup of tea with you. I want to come upstairs or whatever. But and anyway, so he didn't realize, and people had different views on it, and I basically said, no, this is actually a real safety concern. She might have expressed it in a slightly almost accusing way to him, but she was actually correct. She was actually correct. And if you think about it, if your daughter's going out with someone, okay, yeah, and then he didn't walk you home he didn't walk you home. So you're on the train with this guy, and he didn't walk you home. He didn't walk you home, right? And so he let you just walk through a neighborhood at like 1 a.m. on your own. and this guy wants to be your boyfriend. I mean, what I would say to my daughter then would I can't even, I won't repeat, I won't say what I would actually say because it would be classed as hate speech. But I would not be, yeah, I wouldn't be impressed. You know, it's basics, right? It's basics. If he was a 15-year-old, I'd say, okay, he's a fucking idiot, doesn't know any better. I'll have to have a word with him, or his dad should, yeah. And this is the problem: is young guys now, they don't have this awareness. This is one thing I was made aware of by older men when I was a teenager. Started to date women. It wasn't just my dad said something to, but it was actually a lot of older guys said different things. I was like, okay, this is obviously a thing, and I'm glad they did, because it was more when I got older, into my early 20s and late teens. I was like, oh fucking hell, especially in nightlife. Yeah, it is dangerous out there. And I actually felt, to be honest, especially with the English girls, I was like, these drunk English girls, they have got no clue of the danger they're actually in. I know those guys over. I know what those guys are about over there. There's some very fucking dodgy guys over there. Not like in a seedy way. Yeah, that they're just walking past in the middle of the night in the darkness at 2 a.m. after coming out of a club, pissed. Yeah, it's definitely fucking, it's definitely dodge, you know. Um, and things do happen sometimes. Things do happen sometimes. Yeah. So it will never be counted against you to look out for a girl's safety, ever. And the worst thing that could happen is they're just a bit. I've been in situations where I've done the right thing, and I was purely doing it for myself, in the sense that I want good. Just want to make sure she's good. Yeah. Just message me. I know it's a fucking black cab yet. You three together? Or let me call you a cab. Don't get this black cab. Let me call you a cab. Yeah, why? Because some of these guys are fucking dodgy. I know girls who've been attacked by taxi drivers, black cab drivers. Yeah, attempted rapes. Yeah, the girl got away. Yeah, but still, and God knows how many girls have been raped. So these things can happen. Uh, I was working from 9 a.m. Fucking beast, dude, beast. So these things can happen. And the girls who don't appreciate it, they can just be dumb, basically. They're just naive kind of Western girls, right? But that unfortunately can lead to their downfall in some cases. There's a girl. This is about probably 7 or 8 years ago. Sheffield, first night out, got absolutely spannered. She got raped and killed. Her first night out, 18 years old. She got raped and killed and dumped in a river in Sheffield, and they found her the next day. Yeah, she battered, pissed, walked home alone. I don't think they ever found the murderer either, which is also very bad as well. First night out, drunk, naive, childish, probably out with drunk, naive children, idiots. She walked home on her own, walked, raped, and killed. Yeah, it was obviously absolute fucking tragedy. Yeah, danger is fucking real. Danger is fucking real. Yeah. Stockholm, I was always getting an Uber to girls after dates by default. Just do it by default. Exactly. You just do it by default. And this is actually what the girl I was seeing last year, she said some things to me. She's like, I realized when you were gone. This is one of I said she failed because when I broke up with her, we don't know who the murderer was. The murderer was she walked through an area, this girl, which actually had a high proportion of sex offenders and former sex offenders there, living there. I don't know, it's a weird statistic, but people throw that statistic around. I know where the area is. It wasn't a great area. The point is, she probably didn't live there, but she walked through it. Yeah, as a guy, don't be smashed and look after your girls. It's simple, innit? It's simple. You don't have to be some alpha dog who's going around headbutting people in the face, you don't have to do any of that stuff. Just do the basics. Just do the basics. So safety is a big one. And it was funny because some of the guys, I think even Christian was not
he hadn't considered this one. He hadn't considered it. It's, you know, but why would you? If no one had ever told you this, it'd never come into your mind. Um, Ephraim said the same as well. I said, "Would you like your mum?" And he was like, "I wouldn't even think about escorting my mum back." So there's something a bit fucked up with these Zoomers. I don't know what planet they've been living on. I don't know. I don't know. Um, Maybe it's because they're not like we were going out on a lot of nights out. We were exposed to quite a lot actually from 15. You knew the world was not that safe. You know, seeing people getting shit kicked out of them, glassed, fights outside clubs, Sheffield. You know what I mean? So seeing that from 15, you're just very aware. Yeah, the world is not that safe. That doesn't mean you need to be paranoid, but like if I'm not fucking safe, yeah, but I have to just keep aware. She definitely isn't fucking safe. So I care about her. I'm just gonna make sure she's good. Um, Problems now with cultural enrichment. Shouldn't be in danger by going home. Why shouldn't they be in danger, bruv? Why shouldn't they be in danger? Why should the world be safe? Yeah, Richard, you grew up in a shithole. Am I allowed to say the part of the world? I know you like to keep this a secret, but you grew up in a certain well-known city, which is known for being cold, but yeah, it's also known for being rough as well. So exactly, you're not fucking dumb, right? Exactly. You understand the world is dangerous. Oh, country like England. Oh, country like England could never be dangerous. Yes, it fucking could. It doesn't take much. It takes one person to commit a crime, and you're fucked. You could be dead, or anything could. You know, it's civilization is not really. You know, if civilization is barely, it's just kind of barely a thing. Actually, it's like we can live together, but like just because a country is a country, it doesn't fucking make any difference. You know, or a country like America, a country like Norway. Yeah, depends on the culture. Anywhere though, my experience is England is not that safe at all, to be honest. You can walk home alone mostly in, for example, Belgrade. You could walk home alone in central Belgrade. You actually could. Yeah. England is way more fucking dangerous. Yeah. People don't think of like Balkanoids. They think they're all these rough. Yeah, they are rough, but I don't know, man. There's more chaos in England and America. I mean, just fucking forget it. Absolutely forget it. Um, So yeah, and I would say in most countries, Paris, France, Nice, Marseille, you fucking walk home alone through the old Nice. You gotta be joking me. Um, so yeah, all it takes is one incident, and civility is a thin film on top of what the real nature of life is, which is fucking dangerous. So you just gotta be aware of that. Look out for them. And if you do that, I think Balthus is like perfect example. He's already had some good results off this already. He applied this straight away. I think he's applied it a couple of times, and straight away, it paid off for him. The girl that me and Balthus met, it's not like we were going over the top to ensure her safety. I'd say actually I probably let it slide maybe a little bit more than I should have in retrospect. We kind of like made sure she had a plan. This girl, she was like basically alone at night. She fucking missed a train, and she had like a few hours to wait. She had like 6 hours to wait till the 6 a.m. train. So we got a plan for her to go to the fucking. She's like, "Where's open? You have to get a bus to the airport for a few hours. It's open all night, and then come back at like 5 a.m. to the station." So we got her a plan. Yeah. Um, yeah, I actually quite like that girl. I might get her on my channel. I don't know though. I don't know. I kind of fancied her as well, so I don't know if I'll get her on the channel or not. But yeah, probably will at some point. So yeah, but just the fact we took care of her safety even a little bit, she was quite happy about. I think she sees us like we're good guys because of that, you know. So it's important. Um, most Many objections and issues you have in a relationship, they actually do come down to safety. And because as well as physical safety, The other one is emotional safety. Okay, and that sounds very fucking pussy, doesn't it? Emotional safety, but it's basically, is this guy going to completely like wreck me emotionally in whatever way? You know, is he going to be negligent? Is he going to be abusive? Is he going to stonewall me? Is he, fuck knows what else he could be? Is he going to leave me? You know, do I just mean nothing to this guy, or do I mean too much to him that I can't trust him? Is he weak? It kind of all comes down to an emotional sense of safety. So there's emotional safety as well. And the last thing I'll say on this, money and status particularly, they basically are a proxy for safety. They're a proxy for safety overall. Like as an overall thing, like what does money represent? It does represent safety. Like you're not going to be on the street, you're not going to starve. It's safety. And then obviously it can be luxury and things like that. But like on a healthy level, it represents safety. I think once you start to be like, oh, my girlfriend needs the next fucking Diamante fucking slippers. Oh, she needs the next Versace. I personally find that like I hate that, to be honest. I hate that. Um, that's something for you, Richie. Actually, I'll just say this to you as an aside. You know, you like to spend some cash, and it's a big thing for you. Like it's your career and everything, and that's fucking awesome. Be careful of when you're in a relationship. You don't want to cultivate a woman who was a normal woman who you turn into almost a semi gold digger. I've seen guys do this where I know the woman, she was actually an intellectual, and then because he's gone down this route of, oh, we need to go to this restaurant, we need to do this, I need to get you this, then she starts to take him up on it. She starts to then become materialistic and want this, what, that, and the other from him. It's fucked up. So he trains her into it. But then it starts to get, I think it's quite ugly, that is, personally. Like, anyway. So your money, what you want to use your money to make sure she's safe, not to make sure she's got some fucking stupid fucking status symbol handbag which doesn't even fucking mean anything. Like, if she wants to do that, she fucking get it herself. Yeah. Anyway, so anyway, so that's everything I think on safety, emotional safety, physical safety. It must be addressed. I can't really emphasize how important this one is. This is super important. It's probably the most important thing I've said on this live. It's just super important. So address it. Make sure she knows you. If you can make sure she knows you're addressing it as well, it definitely separates you in the modern world. Back in like my granddad's day, this would have been a given. Even in my dad's day, this would have been a completely given for all men. All men knew this. They knew the world was dangerous. They knew women were physically vulnerable. Now people are just raised like fucking retards. They don't have a fucking clue what's going on. Oh yeah, if we can get drunk, or I'll just let her walk home on her own. Like, yeah, nice one. Your mate's dead. Your girlfriend's dead, bro. Yeah, nice one. Last thing I'm going to go on to here, just a very short piece. Hopefully that's been a useful live, but the last thing I'm going to go on to is love. Love. It's going to end on a note of love. What are we all in this for? You know, we can get so fucking convoluted, and I'm definitely guilty of this, but I am fascinated by human psychology and intergender dynamics and like men and women, and it's been such a good thing in my life, to be honest, to have gone in on this like really deeply. I think the reason I remember like in my mid to late 20s, it was after the operation that I had, and I looked at everything. I was 25. I looked at everything and I was like, right, things I've done well and I've excelled to like almost unbelievable degree by age 25. It's kind of insane where I'd got to, but I'm like, shit, it could all end. It literally nearly just fucking ended, and it wasn't my fault. It just fucking nearly ended, you know. On a health front, okay, well, what do I want to do? I want to make sure I've got a better social life. I want to get a lot of chicks. I want to get some fucking chicks. I was 25. I'm like, I'm underperforming. I'm not a virgin. I've had some, girlfriend and a few different experiences, but I'm miles behind where I think I should be by this point. So I went on tilt. onto women, and then maybe I went too far with it, but I'm glad that I did. So yeah, I'm fascinated with all this stuff, and obviously my channel is dedicated to it, and it's a passion, right? And also helping other guys as well on their journeys. But we should not, for all of my talk on this and all the different things we talk about, we should not lose track of the sight of love. We absolutely should not lose track of the sight of love. Okay. And it's a precious thing. It's a precious thing. We shouldn't just, oh, it's disposable. You can always replace, abundance. That's, no, no. That honestly that all becomes essentially somewhat childish in the face of actual love. All of the stuff that we talk about on here is all the approach, it does just become kind of kiddie shit, really, in the face of love. So, yeah, this is what we're here for. Ultimately, this is what we're here for. If you're not here for this, if really you're just in your personal life just to have sex and that's it, first of all, it's going to hit you anyway. The love's going to hit the love will hit you at some point anyway. But yeah, you got to make sure you got to to some extent be open to it, but it's going to hit you anyway, whether you like it or not. And I'm talking about mature love, where you look at a person and you have all the emotions, you have a mutual connection, and you have a deep respect for the person, and you have an understanding. You know what's interesting as well is when it's all said and done with your relationship, after all the sex and all the fun or whatever, the fun, the frolics and the adventures and all of that, when it's all said and done, what you will remember in the years that come and go, what you'll remember is the conversations. That's what you remember. That's what you'll take with you into the future. You might miss the girl's tits and things like that. Yeah, I mean, a girl had in this very room actually had the largest fucking tits I've ever seen on a human female. I've never seen. I'm so happy that the biggest tits I've ever seen I actually got with. I never thought I'd be able to say that because I never cared about tits. But so I missed this girl's tits. Yeah, they were like twice the size of my head. Yeah, but ultimately, like even with her, the stuff I do remember is the conversations. And with other girls as well, girls with like a girl who's a stripper and stuff, like amazing body and stuff. I can barely remember the sex. I can remember like, and I fuck this shit out of that girl on a constant basis. I can remember 5 or 6 sexual episodes. It's I mostly remember the conversations. Yeah. You mostly remember the shared perspectives, the thoughts, the discussions, the time that you spent talking about life, sharing your ideas, listening to what she had to say, Yeah. And that's the same for them as well. So yeah, it's not hard to get good at conversation. Just have conversations, with the people you're with. Real conversations as well. Let's have a look here. I'm missing loads and loads of. You're living in NRW. Where the fuck is NRW? I don't even know where it is. Am I missing something here, Richie? Talk me through this. NRW. It's a German province. Okay. What's the population? What's the population of the city? Oh, mate, tremendous knowledge. North Rhine-Westphalia. Cologne is there. Cologne is your best city. Dusseldorf. Okay, it's a state in Germany. Where's the closest Dortmund? Where's the closest city to you? STBA. Where's the closest city? Okay, so Richard's giving me the lowdown here. Yeah. But yeah, just all the concern over game and stuff like this, really like the whole, approach and all of that, that's really just like 5%. It's really 5%. It's a great 5%. It's a great start, but 95% is what comes after. It's the conversations, it's the relating, it's the sex, it's your ability to provide her safety, to provide excitement. It's her ability to be an assistant to you, to be your slave, for want of a better term, to be your sidekick. You live in Dortmund. Okay. What's the population? I literally don't know anything about Germany because I have to be honest, it's just not a country I have any interest in. The way I've always seen Germany is just like, it's just basically England. So I can't be asked to learn anything about it or go there. It's just like, what's it? Weather's the same. People look the same. We basically speak a Latinized version of German. That's what English is. So I don't really know anything about it at all. Actually, really don't know anything about it at all. German girls have always struck me as being basically all right, though. To be honest. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we are brothers. We actually are. We should not. I don't want to. Me and Richie can go down. We can go down some serious rabbit holes with this, but there's a lot of things should never fucking happen. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna go down that route. But yes, I always see Germany as just like, it's just not interesting to me because I just think it's too similar to the UK. So Dortmund, for example, yeah, David Icke explains it all. Dortmund, bruv, like, I'm such an ignoramus, but what's the population of Dortmund, population-wise? I'm gonna look it up now. You might beat me to the punch. Under a mil, about 700,000. Yeah, okay, fine. Right, I'm gonna look up Dortmund right now. Apparently, it's got a lot of immigrants. Apparently, by the way, don't let that put you off. Don't let that put you off. You don't think there's immigrant girls you don't think there's Muslim girls in Germany who want to be by a nice German guy? Of course there are. I'm getting Borussia Dortmund. No, I don't want Borussia Dortmund. Okay, third largest city, population of 600,000. We've got castles, we've got a city centre, we've got a tremendous. I love that coat of arms. I like the flag as well. Oh, mate, I love this. Ancient city, many cultural, 50,000 students. Okay. Demographics. We've got foreign residents, 20,000 Turks, 10,000 Poles, 7,000 Ukrainians, 7,000 Syrians, 7,000 Romanians, 3,000 Spanish, 2,000 Macedonians. Get in there, Macedonia. A couple of thousand Bosnians, 1,500 Serbians. Not many Chinese, only 1,000. Yeah. Cityscape. So I'm just being a little bit rude here because I'm just trying to research Dortmund while we're on here. I'm assuming you've got good city centres with good traffic. That simply must be the case. That must be the case. So I don't see how. Yeah, 600k. So Richie knows Dortmund. I don't see how you're finding it hard to find places to approach. I'm looking at Tier Gallery Dortmund, which is a massive mall, and I can guarantee you, if myself or Richie were let loose in there, we would rip the place to pieces, and I would have numbers. I guarantee that. I guarantee it. At some point, I go there every weekend for a month. I'd be coming back with something, for sure. Indu Park Centre, that doesn't look as good, but I'm sure there's something that can be done there. Shopping centre, I would go with that Cheer Gallery. That looks good to me. Galleria. Oh, Galleria. They've got one of those in Serbia. I love Galleria. Nice. Destroyed all the stores around the mall. Okay, yeah, so your issue, bruv, is you could be in a better city. Yeah, you could be in a better city. You could be. But it's good enough. It's good enough. It's good enough for you to get started. So the issue is not your city. I literally did a video on this today. If you're over 500,000, you can do it. You can definitely do it. And also as well, you'll have towns and villages, I'm sure, from around the area, who are also where the girls will come in on a Saturday and people come in on a Saturday to. Okay, my internet is sucking right now, but sorry about that. Yeah. So your problem, brother, is not that you're in a. Oh, I'm live again. I'm gonna see if I can. Next time I'm gonna have to do this. My internet is definitely getting attacked by the Chinese at night for sure. This is a problem. This is a problem when you start to help men with cold approach. They attack you. You know. They want us all to be. They want us all to be cock slaves. You know, just working away, paying for the single moms. Let me start a hotspot there just in case. Yeah. Yeah, obviously Richie's not attracted to Ukrainians. I've seen a couple of Ukrainians around Sheffield. I find okay. I probably lost everybody here. I probably lost everybody. Oh, the fucking Chinese, man. They will not leave me alone. The CCP will not leave me alone. They're all coming after me, dude. They're all coming after me. Yeah. Maybe it's Trudeau. Maybe he's in one final attack against civilization. Justin Trudeau is attacking my live stream. Yeah. But yeah, Ukrainians are obviously, yeah. Just on an objective level, the girls are fairly attractive. They're very proud of themselves. They tend to be quite intelligent. Honestly, some of the best conversations I have has been with the Ukrainians. I think they're good quality women, to be honest. I know Richie's not necessarily a fan, but I found Russian and Ukrainian women to just be a complete notch above. I like serious, intelligent people. I don't like retards and childish, stupid buffoons. I'm not into that. So yeah, it's just a consistent thing. And I'm not even physically that attracted to them, but like, because I'm more into the tropical type of girls. But in terms of personality, I think they're fucking good. So yeah, if the guy was on before who was interested in approach, he should be approaching all sorts. You like the Essex girls? Yeah, I want you to start going. I want you to start dating. And Essex girls are good. Don't get me wrong; they're actually good. Not the slapper types, but the real Essex girls. They're actually good, man. They're actually good. They're some of the best in England, actually. They've got a very feminine energy to them. Yeah.
But yeah, my advice to that guy would be, look, your city's big enough. You can find places to approach. That's bullshit. So you're making excuses for yourself. The most likelihood is they're going to be the following. You're either not very good at doing it because you just got blind spots, which is completely normal that you can't even see. You need a coach to basically work with you, essentially. We're talking daytime, or you need at least mates. Yeah, he was indecisive. But anyway, I just because a guy though, he still may have potential because if he's on, he's watching stuff. He wants to do something. It's not yeah, it's not necessarily the case that it's such an alien thing for most guys. So I don't blame people for being a bit hesitant, but um, yeah, it's basically probably not good enough at approach, essentially, which is fine. Basically, nobody is when they start. How could you be really? I think the only there's like a handful of people who are like the chosen ones who are like they just come out of the womb. They're going to be good at daytime cold approach. Yeah, they mainly live in the Dominican Republic, yeah, and probably Africa as well. But so yeah, he's probably just not good enough, or he just doesn't have any type of camaraderie around him. He doesn't have any type of wings. He doesn't have any mates who are helping him with this. He needs the wing bro, basically. So he needs to get in touch with my service, or find somebody, find a coach, basically. Yeah, of course he's afraid. Of course he is. And this is every excuse should just be I'm afraid. Yeah, that should be like 90% of your excuses are just I'm just afraid. What am I supposed to do? It's not that I want to be afraid. It's not that I'm cognitively afraid. My mind knows this. This is just a stupid thing. I don't really care. But emotionally, I'm afraid. For some strange reason, I'm putting too much pressure on myself. I feel like this woman's judgment is the be all and end all, whatever it is. I don't fucking know. Maybe I've not been laid for 7 years. Yeah, I'm trying to break my 7 year doc. Could be any number of things, but it basically comes down to fear. Every time you don't go into an approach, it just comes down to fear. I even had one in the park the other day. It's for me, it was a combination of fear and slightly, honestly, laziness. It's like I was like there was a girl who was a mixed race girl. She was with a kid, so I was like, I don't know if I want that, but she was very fit. I was like, yeah, I do want to approach her, but I'm also like, I don't know if I can be asked, and I've got work. I've got a disgusting works evening to do where I've got to be like really on point for like 4 or 5 hours. I know that doesn't sound like much, but the work I do, it's a bit like doing a performance for 4 hours, but also doing like heavy mental work as well, like mental gymnastics. I think I had like 5 hours to do in the afternoon. I was like, fucking hell. I'm also just feeling too lazy. I feel like I want to conserve my energy. Um, So yeah, fear can kick in. It's interesting being back in my hometown right now. I think you've experienced this, Richie, where I'm like, I experience weird little fears that would not normally come up at this point, because I'm in my hometown. I can still feel that I've leveled up like 1,000x from when I was like 17, but still, it's like, yeah, I'm in my hometown. Like when I was in the cafe the other day, I didn't approach. Um, when I was with a friend in the cafe. I told you guys I bottled that approach, but it was not. Um, it was for some weird reason where I felt like I'd be bullying that guy if I did this approach. Um, yeah, you do feel the leveling up, even if you do still feel fear. I think it's that knowledge. I know for myself, and you do as well. I know for myself. I know what I'm capable of. I know if I want to turn it on, I can do. And even in Sheffield, I could go on an absolute fucking rampage for like 3 weeks, and I know I would get some decent shit going on. I've done it in the past. There's no reason why I couldn't do it again. So it's like it's a different kind of knowledge. You know that you could actually, Christian said it. It's not always having; it's knowing that you can have. That's a big thing. Yeah. Um. So yeah. Um. Yeah. But fear can still come in at any time. I've had a few. There's definitely even in Barca. There's approaches I went into when not in the street, but like there was a few that I did where I was a little definitely afraid. But I just like
suppress it, go in for it anyway, whatever. That's part of the kick, man. That's part of the kick. And then you have some where you don't feel anything. It's weird. It's weird how that fluctuates. It's weird how that fluctuates. You don't have time. I go out on a Saturday with Mr. R. Yeah. Keep away. Yeah. Keep away from supermarkets, indeed. Yeah. Yeah, it's an odyssey, isn't it? Approach. It's a weird odyssey, man. It's a hack into life that I never knew was there. Daytime approach. It's a crazy hack into life. It's nuts, dude. It's nuts. Yeah. I was in a club on Tuesday actually, and I was like, I'm so at ease in these clubs, man. I'll never be. I don't think I'll. Well, the goal is to get as that at ease in the streets as I do in the clubs, but it's so long. It's like I started going to clubs at 15, and I didn't stop really until the pandemic, which hit me at 34. And even in the pandemic, I still found some underground clubs that let me in. So, yeah, your energy changed. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I think what it is like there's some girls who will just respond to you just on even in a version of yourself that was like decent, but it wasn't the level you're at now, and they're kind of your natural response. And there's some girls who just for some reason won't, but you will find that will change, and even more will start to respond to you as time goes on. Interesting, it's an interesting factoid that. I still think Dutch girls pretty much are not that great though, to be honest. Man. Just big meatheads, they're just not interested. Yeah, I used to feel less than them. Yeah. Yeah, it's a process, man. Um, yeah, I think there's a friend of mine. He's a French guy. He's a professor at I think he's LSE now. I think he's a professor of what's he a professor of? I don't know. He's a French guy, and he blossomed in his PhD. He came to England, his PhD. Then he became suddenly he went from just a French nerd to like, oh, he's French, therefore he's sexy. So the girls loved him, right? Whereas back in France, no one fucking paid him any attention. And then he said he was. I remember having this chat with him. We were about 27. He's like, the girl I was so fascinated by when I was like 16. She literally works in like Carrefour. Like she's completely fucking boring. She's completely a completely boring non-entity, and I was obsessed with her when I was like 16. And he's like, it's so fucking crazy how that changes. This is like 15 years ago we had this conversation. So it's interesting. I wonder what he's doing now. That guy. I'm going to look him up after this live. We move on. Perceptions change. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I covered love at the end there. I'll finish with this. There's a girl I've discussed on this live probably 2 or 3 times. I've discussed an episode that happened to me, this dramatic episode that happened to me, or that I created because of my own egotism and retardation. And also success. There was a successful episode as well in a fucked up way. Two amazing girls colliding essentially because I'm out with one, the other one sees me. That whole scenario, yeah. Both those girls are legit. They're fucking legit. They're two of the best girls I've ever met. Maybe the two best I ever met. Met them both within 2 weeks of each other. Fell in love with both of them. I've told this story a bunch of times on this live. And the girl who came off worse in that situation. Yeah, I've talked about her before on this live. She iced me. She sent me one message. She never spoke to me again. Ever. And I've said this in other videos. I was used to getting positive feedback for bad behavior. Iceberg Slim. The worse I behaved, the better the feedback became. Now, as fucked as that is, that's actually not my fault. Yeah, it's like, well, I tried being the good guy, and I was being genuine. It wasn't like I was being fake. I actually was like being stand up. It wasn't working. Let's try being a bit bad. Now let's try being very bad. Now let's try being a basically psychopath. Yeah. Oh, this works 10 times better. Okay. Well, it works better anyway. So anyway, so I was running that program. And then I started running it on girls even in a country where they're actually normal, not completely fucked in the head, and happy, decent, hardworking, not spoiled, and ridiculously fit. Ridiculously fit. Very proud. Like, for me, just a match made in heaven. Every fucking girl on the island, practically. And yeah, I carried on running that bullshit, and then I realized at a certain point, these girls don't deserve it. So that girl emails me 6 months ago after not speaking to me for all this time. And she lives in Barcelona now. She moved to Barcelona across the world. She moved to France first, and she ended up in Barcelona. So I fucking met her I met her twice during that week. So I was like out doing the cult approach in the day, working, and then I met this girl a couple of times as well. That was a fucking dramatic scene, and that was dramatic. She walked into we walked together in Corte Inglés. We had lunch on the rooftop of El Corte Inglés. It was like a film. She had a fucking big anorak on. Big anorak. I was like, oh, cool. She just, she's come just through work or something, like, nothing special, but like, she looked great. Like, her face looked great. But I was like, oh, she just got this big jacket on and whatever. She took her jacket off. She had a fucking cream dress on. I was like, nice dress. She looked fucking mint. She looked absolutely mint. For me, my 4 criteria: does she look as good as she can? Number 1. It's not even how fit she is. Obviously, she's got to be fit, but it's not even how fit she is. Does she look as good as she can? Number 1. Right? Does she cook? Number 2. Does she give me the best sex that she can? Number 3. Does she respect my time? That's 4 things. 4 things. Can do those 4 things. That's a serious candidate as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, this woman is like a fucking 10 out of 10 on all those things, right? So yeah, so I met her again. Yeah, that was fucking interesting. Having all these like bullshit, cold approach conversations with fucking people who are not particularly interesting. And then going from that to having this girl, Richie, she has the type of conversations we sometimes might have about politics and things like this offline, outside the group. Those types of conversations I will have with this girl. And like different conversations, but like very, very, very good conversations, like extremely good. But she's not like she's not a nerd or anything like that. She's just a naturally cool, thoughtful person. So that was an interesting meet. Am I out? You're gonna go do secession tomorrow? Yeah, I might join you, mate. To be honest, I might join you. Yeah, I might be meeting Ian for coffee as well tomorrow. I don't know. I've got some admin to do tomorrow, so as soon as I get that done, I'm free. But yeah, I don't know when I get that done. I don't know. Yeah, I actually do fancy doing a session tomorrow. Maybe I'll see if Ian wants to stick around for a session. Between meetings, you dirty dog. You dirty dog, Richie. You naughty man. You want to go out approaching between your meetings, you absolute filth bag. Yeah. I personally find, I suppose meetings you can take a back seat, but I personally find if I've got a lot of in person, doing what I do, I don't even want to, on the same day, at this time of year, I don't want to approach that same day. I really don't. When I was in Belgrade, yeah, cheating on your work, that's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. When I was in Belgrade, I did when you were going out, you were hitting it really hard in September, October. When you were, you can't be totally. I'll come back to this. A fresher. You can't be totally free from outcome, bruv. You can't be. Why are you going out to approach? You're going out to approach not to get numbers. That's just some fucking bullshit. You can't be, especially not at the start. I literally go out to practice, and I'm not totally free from outcome. It's that's a misnomer. It's a misnomer. It's not that you're totally free from it. It's just that, like, you just accept whatever comes. That's it, really. It's not that you're free, because if I am not attracted to a girl, it honestly is, you just don't think about it. That's what it is. Like, you shouldn't be. It's outcome for me is a positive. Like, I don't know why everyone's so afraid. Oh, I'm afraid of outcome. The outcome dependent. What do you mean outcome dependent? What? I want to get a girl out on a date. Oh, I'd like to talk to her because she looks fucking gorgeous. You don't have a fucking clue what the outcome is going to be. Only a sociopath can walk away not feeling burned by a rejection. No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. The issue is you're doing this alone. This is your issue. I know you're doing this alone by what you're saying. That's your issue. Because I mean, I've got, I don't know how many times I've been rejected in my life by chicks. I don't know. But it's a lot. It's a fucking lot. I mean, it is a lot. Yeah. But it's not, first of all, they're not mostly rejections. Mostly it's just like she wasn't into me. That's not a rejection. It's her free will, or she's got a guy, or whatever it is. Yeah, so you do date game. So when you're solo, there's more of a sting because you don't have any social. You don't have a social buffer. There's no one out there with you saying, that's fucking hilarious. Like when Richie, for example, when we were in Manchester, Richie did an open. I don't know if he closed the girl in Poundland, but it really didn't matter what happened. I think he did a 1 or 2 approaches in Poundland, which is just absolutely fucking legendary, right? That was what was important. And why was that important? Because he was with me and Christian. I think it might have been with maybe 1 or 2 other guys, but it was definitely with me and Christian. It was fucking hilarious. Like, the guys approaching in Poundland, yeah? It was just legendary, right? So that social buffer that he had with me and Christian, that was really what I don't know. I doubt it. I don't know how he felt about this. Yeah, you got rejected like 70 times. I can imagine you were still early in your journey, but I can imagine that the most of the ones that didn't work out how you might have hoped, when you've got a couple of mates with you, and you did get some good results there as well, but when you've got a couple of mates with you, it really doesn't matter that much, man. It really doesn't fucking matter that much. It's just a fun day out. I got some closes. I got some I got some, I don't rejections, girls who weren't interested. That's fine. Not bothered at all, because I had that social buffer. I was with my mates. I was mostly happy to be seeing you guys, to be honest. So that's one thing I would recommend to anyone who really feels that sting. Get yourself out there with your mates. Get yourself, a wing. Get yourself a few wings. If you get a wing out there in Germany, bruv, then I would see if you can, find someone out there. What was my personal stance on dead locations? Scarce availability of women in public. Yeah. I don't know what you mean by that question, but solo for Richie. Yeah, Richie, I think I do wonder, guys who were single children, like single children, like I think you were a single child, right? Christian was a single child. Ephraim was a single child. I wonder if you guys, you must have spent more time alone as children, by definition. I wonder if you guys may actually feel actually very at home solo. I can do it solo. I will do it solo, but I love to be in a team. I absolutely love it. I've definitely, I mean, you know how many solo sessions I've done. I've done fucking dozen. I mean, probably hundreds actually. And for me, it's just night and day. When I'm with other people, I just find it more fun because I like to bounce off people. I like to have fun, you know. Doing it solo, nah, who really cares? Oh, you got an older brother. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I actually thought you were a single child. Yeah, but I know, for example, Christian was, Ephraim was. So it's kind of like I was the older brother. Um, so yeah, I always like to be around people. Um, you grew up fairly isolated. Well, this is the last point I'll make on this. So this has been last point I'll make on this is Christian said it a load of times. I don't think he quite emphasizes it enough. But I mean, he's said it, like he's definitely said it forcefully. But I wonder if people even really understand. Because basically, you don't have relationship problems, you have personal problems. You don't have relationship problems, you have personal problems. And this is over and over again. This needs to be drilled into our heads. Every single guy in the entourage that's got any type of dysfunction at all in their relationships, it all stems from their childhood. Every single bit of it. All of it does. Yeah. Whatever your dysfunction is, it definitely stems from your childhood. 100%. There might be a small genetic component as well, 20%. It's overwhelmingly your childhood. Yeah, discussing just a few things with Sinner today. I know my own issues. My own issues are weird issues, actually. My own issues, it doesn't even really manifest itself in approach. Yeah, we won't try and steal your approaches. But yeah, I'll come back to that fresher in a minute. But yeah, most of my issues are. Well, I'm gonna fucking nail this. I'll nail this right now for future's sake, and I can always come back to these thoughts and flesh them out in other videos. One of my issues with women is because I literally had to protect my own mom. I mean, literally, physically protect her from being quite like a ridiculously young age as well, like maybe 13. Yeah. Obviously, in a way, there are some upsides to that in the sense of I'm genuinely not afraid of very much, like genuinely. A gang of guys with weapons, I would be like, yeah, they'll probably kill me. But apart from that, there's really not that much that intimidates me. Yeah, so that's an upside. So I'm looking on the positive here. But on the downside is if I'm with a woman, I can feel like I need to sometimes we talked about the protection safety thing. To me, that can be overly switched on. But to a point where I'm like, I won't leave a girl that I'm with because I think it's my job to protect her. Let's say a girl I'm with and I don't really, realistically, I don't even really want to be with her anymore. Been with her for a month or two and it's like, no, this is not working. I can be guilty of staying with a girl to make sure she's all right, as fucked up as that is. And she's fine. These are not weak girls. Yeah. I don't tolerate weak girls. So it's strange. It's a strange thing. That's to me it's obvious where that is. It's no fucking mystery to me where that tendency comes from. There's no mystery to me there at all. It's obvious where it comes from. So for me, sometimes, yeah, that can be an issue. I think sometimes in my approaches, I can sometimes be guilty a little bit of like, I get concerned that I'm going to intimidate a woman. Not because I'm not a big guy or anything like that. There's something about me that sometimes can intimidate women. So I can be over concerned about that. And it's also, you know, we are doing daytime cold approach as well. It is a bit fucking crazy. So sometimes in my approaches, I can be a bit conscious of like, oh fucking hell, am I scaring these girls? You know, when actually I probably should not worry about it too much. And if I do scare them, so fucking what? What are they gonna do? Just call the police or something? I'll just be like, yeah, cool. I'll leave you guys alone. Bye. You know. So you had a good childhood, emotionally neglected, but my parents looked after me. So you're grateful. There's not one man on the planet who walks out without childhood scars. No, I disagree with that. I disagree with that. We've normalized too much. People have normalized too much where there's most people actually do walk out without childhood scars. Most people do. About 70% of people have somewhat normal childhoods, fairly normal. I'm talking parents who loved each other and they loved the child, and that's pretty much it. And they weren't. There's boundaries of behavior, right? You know, maybe there's a few shouting matches here and there, but the boundaries of behavior, right? That's normal. Yeah, that's normal. Actually, most people are within those boundaries. Most people, I don't know, 70% or something like that. There's a lot of people are within those boundaries. The 30% people, whatever it is, 30, 40% of people, though, they have different layers of dysfunction. Some people, you know, your mum's abandoned you, she's a fucking heroin addict, and your dad's fucked up as well. Well, you're fucked. You're fucked, basically. And then other people, it depends, you know, it depends. I do think emotional negligence, though, is, yeah, I think there's a couple other people in our group who've experienced that, and I think I know who they are, even though they've never spoken about it. Yeah, you had a difficult childhood. Maybe you're an exception. You can live with it. Yeah, yeah. But I do think this fresh, it probably will be manifesting itself in your relationships, whether you know it or not. So, Richie, you're quite needy, bruv, and you've just said to me you had a slightly neglected childhood. And I think those two things are almost certainly connected. I would say that's a fairly obvious consequence, right? Surely, to me. I can be quite distant with sometimes with relationships, but there's a fucking good reason for that, you know. Um, it's not to say that we're like pussies or anything like that. We can't grow. We can't do everything we need to do. We're fucking grown men. We can do what we need to do. But I do think some of these patterns they run from childhood, and it's like, okay, I need to be aware of this. Like I might actually even have to just, I don't know, fucking sit around a campfire and fucking sing songs for a few days or something like that. Go to fucking retreat or something. Abandonment fear. Yeah. Yeah. Ultimately, we don't know though, because we don't know what we would have been like with different parents. Um, I honestly found that when I was a fucking kid, I found that when I went to stay with my friends, I actually would find quite quickly I felt different. I changed. I felt more relaxed. I felt a bit less defensive. In my early career, very early career, I went to live with a few different families basically early on in my career, unusual positions, and I found that very therapeutic in a weird way. I was like, oh wow, this is what it's like to be with a normal fucking family. Wow. Um, I did like a lot. I did like French exchanges and stuff when I was a kid, and Spanish as well because of the languages thing. I was like, wow, it's like chill. It's fucking paradise, yeah. So I don't know. I actually did have those mini insights into, oh, this is what it's like to be in a normal situation. Interesting, you know. Um, yeah, you got ultra resilience. Yeah, I know you do, bro. I know you got ultra resilience, bro. You're an absolute fucking soldier. Yeah, I know that. Um, yeah, it's more just like, how can I put this? To be aware of these things, you might be able to solve them, or you might be able to even accept them in yourself. You're just like, yeah, okay, yeah, this is what I'm like. Fuck. You might be able to modify them, your flaws and foibles, because you know some of these things can be a bit of a deal breaker, and they can fuck up your relationships. Whether it's harsh, avoidant personality, yeah. I probably do as well, bro. Maybe that's why you find my channel interesting. That avoidant personality is, I don't avoid conflict. I don't avoid things, but it's just like, um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to know, isn't it, bro? It's like, are you for me, for example, I travel all over the world I've developed this nomad lifestyle, which has taken me a long time to develop. Now that I've developed it, I'm traveling all over the world for the last 4 years, and I'm absolutely loving every minute of it. Someone else could look at that and go, oh, that guy's pathological because he wants to travel here, there, and everywhere. But I don't know, when I was stuck here in the UK and I was getting ready to do this and working towards it, you might have said, oh, that was he's living a normal life now. But in my mind, I wasn't where I wanted to be. I was happy, but I wasn't happy, if that makes sense. Yeah, come here, go away complex. Yeah, dude, I've got the same. I've got the same. I've got the same. Because it's like, I want you, I care about you, I like you. Come share time with me. You're fantastic. Whoa, whoa. Don't get too close. Whoa. I am independent, yeah? I'm independent. Yeah? I'm an independent operator. I've got to go now. Bye. I've got to go. I've got to go. But I think you're great. But I have got to get out of here. Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah, where does that come from? Once a woman embraces my advantage, you find no reasons a relationship won't work. Yeah, yeah, dude. I know everything you're talking about here. Claustrophobic, yeah. Yeah. And it's like, is this a genetic thing? Is this something, a defensive thing from childhood? I don't fucking know. I don't know. For me at this point, I'm kind of like, I'm actually cautious about getting into anything. I'm cautious about getting into anything big right now. Attachment fear. Yeah, it's not a fear of attachment, bro. Yeah, maybe for me, it's really not a fear of attachment. It's more a fear of being trapped in claustrophobia, a fear of like losing my sovereignty. That's more what it is. I don't mind the attachment. I like the attachment. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it can. What would I say I'm afraid of with women? Sometimes I wonder, is there a certain bracket of woman that I avoid because I just kind of almost can't relate to them in a way. And they might be quite good women, but I'm just like, I can't actually relate to this woman. Let's say a woman who's just very well put together, like she's very, very hot, she's got great profession and stuff like that. I'm kind of like, maybe she's from a great family and stuff like that. It's all been very goody. I'm like, I don't know if I can even relate to this person. I need them to at least have suffered something. Hopefully not like abuse, but like, you know, she had to overcome something in her childhood. Maybe she was a bit poor, maybe she's dyslexic. I don't know what it was, but like in my mind, unless I know someone's had to overcome something, I almost can't trust them with women. That's a fucking interesting one. If a girl hasn't had to overcome anything or not enough, I actually dismiss them as a serious. I was like, this is not really serious. And often they are quite frivolous, but actually, that's quite bad on my part, isn't it, really? Independence, sovereignty, freedom, autonomy. Yeah, so you wouldn't go for a woman you wanted. Yeah. And sometimes I go, yeah, do I avoid the women I really want? Because I'm like, what if I actually get them? you know, then I am fucked. Yeah. Then I might have to give up my lifestyle, you know. You slept with a 10 and got needy like never touched for nothing or from nothing. Yeah, dude, I would say you slept with a 10, dude. You slept with a legit 10. Just take that, put it in a fucking bank, lock it away, and don't even say another word about whether you got attached, what you did next. Just everything else, just delete from your mind. Just delete. I was in Sweden. I banged a 10. A year ago, I was fucking grannies. I just went to Sweden. I fucked a 10. Yeah. Fucking A, dude. That's fucking tremendous. Yeah. Yeah, dude. You'll be back there getting your fucking Johnson socked left, right, and center, dude. It's gonna be disgusting. You'll be spreading syphilis all over fucking Sweden, dude. It's gonna be sick. But yeah, Fresher. What are your goals, Fresher? What are your goals, bruv? With all of this, I'm glad you joined this live tonight because I was not actually aware of you. I know there's a few people who comment, and there's different people I've spoken to, and different all sorts of different contacts through this channel this last 6 months. Yeah, but I think we've got some interesting parallels here. Some of the stuff you're saying here, it can be hard to see with people's questions because like when you see written questions, they can seem quite spurgy, can seem quite odd and like robotic. But actually, I'm seeing no, that's not really the case. It's to find a woman who's very secure in herself that you can roam freely, take my walks to the mall and chill. Lots of women. So yeah. So you're looking for pussy basically to begin with. You're looking to just hook up, etc. But then that's going to turn into something. It's going to turn into something. I need a girl who's chill so that she knows you're a roving girl. There's actually a lot of girls like this, to be honest, mate. Yeah, we're similar, bro. We're similar. What you're saying here is very, very much. I recognize all this stuff in myself. This is what I love about this channel, though, is like the people I've met through this channel. Like I met another guy on a call last week. Because I'm actually pretty much legitimately myself on this channel. I don't really hide anything. I maybe don't go through. There's maybe a few hate speech words that I don't use, but apart from that I might use in private with Richie. But apart from that, not racist, by the way, not that type of hate speech, but other types of speech. Apart from that, I'm pretty much 100% myself. So when people actually do get on and they find it, it's kind of like if the people like me, they will actually like me, and they'll find what I'm saying interesting, and they'll have the similar interests and similar pursuits. Yeah, you've got a quest to meet other women. Yeah. Fresher, how many approaches are you doing currently per month? How many approaches you getting yourselves into? I'm talking daytime cold approaches. Don't bullshit me on this. If the number's 0, just say 0. I'm just interested to know. If you did 5, okay. And was that in one session or were these separate sessions? All daytime. Yeah. So you're getting into 20 approaches a month. Let's say on average. 5 total. Okay, fine. It's not much. And are these in one session? No, they're a span of 2 weeks. Okay. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, mate, kudos to you for already doing some approaches. 2 numbers. Yeah, I mean, kudos to you, mate, for already doing this. That's really fucking cool. That's really fucking cool. And the numbers maybe didn't come. The numbers come through. Anything come with the numbers? Yeah. Yeah, the numbers flaked out. Fine, fine. Okay, so I mean, this is good though, mate. This is really good. I would say, as a rule of thumb, the next video that's going to come out of my channel, my millions of adoring fans are going to be waiting for.
just watch that video because I go through essentially the problems guys are having in that video. I go through the problems guys are having. Basically, they're not getting enough leads. The reason they're not getting enough leads because they're not doing enough approaches. 5 is good though, mate, in terms of I'm expecting people to have basically done like 1 a year or never. Yeah. The fact you've actually done 5 last month is actually fucking respectable. Yep. I'll do twice that many in a day. I'll do 10 in a day on some many occasions, or at least do 5 in a day, easy. And number wise, I mean, in Barca, I picked up about 10 numbers in about 4 or 5 days without trying, truthfully, without trying at all. I was with mates as well, so it's super easy. But you want to be aiming for around, I would say, if you're in a good city, minimum 10 numbers a month. And realistically, I'd prefer you to be getting about 10 numbers a week. That'll be my preference. Yeah. Yeah, manufacture redundant music, yeah. So my nighttime, I don't consider it this whole word game. I know it's just a word, right? The game or something. I don't like the word game. I think it's fucking stupid. It's not a game. I'm not trying to manipulate anyone. Neither are you. You're going over to a woman. You're talking to them. That's all you're doing. You're going over to a woman who's heterosexual. You're a heterosexual man. You're just talking to them. So I don't like the word game at all. I think it's fucking retarded. But anyway, I know you're just using it because you're using it. We all have these shorthands that we use, but still, you got to be careful with it because then you start to almost think of it as a game. Nighttime approach. I would only recommend going to clubs that you like. So I go to Latin music clubs because I love Latin music. I go to Afrobeat clubs because I like Afrobeat. I don't go to techno, trance, rock because I don't like any of that music. I just go to places that I actually already like, and then I talk to women there. I will just dance with women there. Yeah, your brothers in the community. Yeah, yeah, mate. I mean, long term, that's something I think it's gonna come. You're Colombian by blood. Hablas español, entonces. You see me in Madrid speaking Spanish. So U.S. citizen, Colombian by blood, de Bogotá. Yeah, you don't speak English. Yeah, yeah, dude, you got Colombian blood, dude. It's funny. Yeah, my mate, one of my best mates from Colombia, he's a fucking animal, dude. Okay. I don't know where that is, but anyway, Villavicencio. Yeah, dude. Um, Crazy. So you're out in Germany. You're a Colombian American out in Germany. You're a soldier. You're a military guy. Um, yeah, okay, Amazon area. Well, there we go. I've now found myself a wing in Colombia. There we go. Oh, for some reason I thought you were in Germany. I thought we were talking about Germany earlier on. Somebody was. Wait, what the fuck? Are you trolling me here, dude? I thought you were in Germany. Wait. Oh no, somebody else. Saint Bar. Okay. So it's a different guy. It's a different guy. Yeah, it's another dude from Germany. Okay, fair enough. You live in Minnesota. Fair enough. Yeah. I'm getting the Americans coming in now. Yeah. Well, this is it, bro. Is guys, yeah. I think American guys can actually be really good in this because they've got naturally often more outgoing personalities. Um, Quite positive, and there's a lot of qualities American guys have got. Can do well in day game. Game. Um, the girls are approachable, and I'm not massive. Well, I basically don't like American girls to be honest, but I met a few in Barcelona who were all right. In a club, they're actually all right. Um, but yeah, interesting. Speaking of the importance of holding eye contact, it's very important. It's extremely important.
Pro tip, look at them as if you've already fucked them. Yeah. Yeah. I honestly, bruv, like, I don't want to say it because you're obviously American. You're being nice to me on my channel. I literally I can't stand American women. Anyone who watches this channel kind of knows that. I find them stupid, arrogant, fat. I'm not interested in them at all. That's the default. Obviously, there's fit ones. Obviously, it's a massive country. There's hundreds of millions of women. There's cool ones. There's fit ones. But I'm just going on averages. Okay. If I was there, I'll be looking for the needle in a haystack, which is what I'm doing in the UK as well. UK is not that much better. They are better, but they're not that much better. Yeah. Your eyes on the floor. Honestly, dude. Right. Here's my honest, brutal advice to you. Get on a fucking plane and go somewhere in Latin America and just start cold approaching there for 2 weeks. It'll change your fucking life. Yeah. That'll change your life. The 100%. Yeah. But yeah, just carry on watching my videos, bro. There's one coming out tomorrow, which is going to be really helpful for you. I've got to get off soon. Yeah, dude, go back to Colombia, dude. I'm going to be in Colombia at some point, probably 2026. I'm going to probably take a trip to Bogota. So yeah, nothing wrong with going to a country, bro. If I lived in America, if I lived in continental USA, I literally would not even be able to date anyone who I'd have to get them fresh off the boat. I would have to go literally to the airport to meet chicks. That would be how much. Yeah, even if they've been in the country 2 weeks, bro. Yeah. But yeah, nothing wrong with going to different countries to meet women. Richie does it. Christian does it. Ephraim, my friend Ephraim, Paul University. He came to Barca last week. He like was absolutely loving it. I mean, he was a wrecking ball. Like he just through daytime approach, he shagged 3 chicks in 3 days. Yeah. Sorry, Ephraim, if you're watching this. Sorry to give away your secrets, but I'm promoting you here, right? So he's come to a new country, bang, 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 bang. Yeah. Monster, right? I don't have Snapchat, mate. I don't know. Ecuador, yeah. I don't have Snapchat. If you look up Joe Blake Lisbon, that's my Instagram. Joe Blake Lisbon. Joe Blake Lisbon. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a move, mate. But if you, I'm just trying to think what's good for you without. Yeah, I mean, in terms of this channel, I put out free content. So if you want free content, there's good content here. I'll be doing a lot more lives this summer, not more, a lot more in fields this summer, a lot more. So that's going to be good. If you're looking to make like more rapid progress, there's a couple of services I've got. One of them is a virtual wingmanship service. The other is an in-person immersion, which basically kickstarts you. The end goal of that is essentially to make sure that you're just turning into the wreck. Yeah, Joe Blake Lisbon. Yeah, you're turning into the wrecking ball that you've always wanted to be. I have no website, brother. I'm a pirate. Yeah. There may be a website going up in the future, but you can. I mean, if you are like serious, you do want to look into actually doing this like on a more structured way to try to make more rapid improvements and to basically get there quicker. Yeah, you can book in on you can book a call if you just look if you look on some of my other videos. God, I'm shit at this part of thing, but if you look at my other videos, you'll see you can book calls. So yeah, John Anthony's expensive. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, I mean, any guy who's sleeping with 2,000 chicks, like, he obviously knows what he's talking about. But yeah, I'm not those types of prices. But in any case, you're in the US, that you could maybe do a virtual one, or I think in person is probably best. But virtual is also very good. That's more for people who are already doing it and they just want some camaraderie. But yeah, just keep scarring the videos, mate, and yeah, take what you can, comment. Appreciate you joining me on the live. It's been ridiculously long live. I've got to make a move now. Yeah. Oh, you don't like John Anthony, Richie? I'm sorry. I'm not good. The guy has slept with 2,000 women. Yeah.
That's more than the entire entourage. Yeah. So anyone who says that guy doesn't know what he's talking about is fucking retarded. Yeah. He slept with thousands of chicks. Yeah. He obviously knows something, right? Yeah, obviously now he's using a lot of Tinder and he's doing all this facial fucking bullshit. Like, but he's no, don't. He claims it. I'm pretty sure it's true. It's pretty sure he's the first person I saw online, and I was like, I can see it in someone. I can see it in them. I don't have any issues believing that guy at all. He's a hardcore marketer. See, everyone has their own perspectives. I mean, most of the guys that I've been with are shagging women well into the hundreds, and that's guys who are in the UK. So by normal standards, they're completely like freak players, and so I know what they look like. I know how they act, and that's like most of my old wingman group and stuff. I'm not actually in those types of figures. I'm not in whatever, but I've been around that enough. I'm experienced enough. He's the first person I saw online, and I thought, yeah, this guy knows this guy knows what it's about. But yeah, the stuff the stuff related to all the online stuff, which is the direction he's gone. For me, I think that's just a bad direction, and it's quite unbalanced as well. Like, do you want to be, even if it's great, you know what you're doing. Like, you obviously have some kind of mental problem. If you're going into the thousands, you literally obviously you've got mental problems. That's fucking obvious. Like, that's definitely pathological. But anyway, he definitely knows what he's talking about. In my mind, there's just no doubt about that. In terms of daytime, though, I think the entourage. I think we've got something that's more advanced than anyone else, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think the guys who are doing those types of programs, his programs, or any other any dating coach really that's really highly emphasizing online dating, we are gonna outperform, I would say, in daytime approach. I don't think there's anyone who can compete because we're doing it so aggressively and we're making discoveries on a weekly basis, and it's there for everyone to see. It's not just me who's got the channels. There's 3 other guys who've got channels. There's guys who no one's even seen who are fucking monsters, you know. Yeah, it's too expensive. What are you doing here? What you're sharing with me here? I'm not going to add you on Instagram, bro. If you want to add me, just add me. Otherwise, just comment and whatever, we can communicate on videos. I will love you and leave you all and get some sleep. And Richie, I might see you on a session tomorrow. Maybe if we can link up on a session, that might be quite good. I'll hit the I'll hit the market in Sheffield. I'll go and hit the place where they sell weaves, yeah, fucking black hair shop. Get some mamacitas out there. Yeah, I'm actually up for that. Probably late afternoon, like 3-4 o'clock or something. That could be good. But right now I'm gonna get some sleep. It's been awesome. Take it easy, boys.